What if I told you that buying a house to live in could be the worst financial and lifestyle decision you ever make? The cultural expectation of home ownership in Australia is so deeply ingrained in us that many of us just walk into it blindly, especially those of us from immigrant backgrounds. But in a country like Australia where you have soaring house prices, buying a home could severely limit you both in your finances and the way that you choose to live your life. Here are 4 reasons why buying a home to live in is a bad idea. The first reason is the most obvious. The cost is astronomical. You'll likely be spending around $1 million, which is the median house price across most Australian capital cities. In Sydney, where I'm from, it's actually closer to $1.6 million. If you buy a $1 million house with a 20% deposit, you'd still need to borrow $800,000, and that's before stamp duty and other fees. So let's do the maths. Assuming an interest rate of 6.2%, your monthly repayments including principal and interest would be $4,900. Now let's assume you have a decent base salary of $100,000. Your take-home pay is about $6,431 per month after tax. That means 76% of your income goes straight to your mortgage, leaving you with just $1,531 for everything else including food, bills, and transport. You are essentially living paycheck to paycheck with almost no financial buffer. The second reason is that the state of your wallet plays into the state of your mind. The pressure of making monthly mortgage repayments may change who you are and how you react to certain situations. You may find yourself more risk-averse or timid in scenarios that directly or indirectly impact your income-generating capacities. For example, you may pass on a potentially career-enriching opportunity because you're afraid that you might fail and jeopardize that good thing that you've got going on. Or you may end up becoming a complete pushover and constantly work overtime because you are overcompensating due to the fear of needing to stay in a job. Or you may find yourself staying quiet when you really should be speaking up because you're afraid of being wrong and how that might negatively impact your employment. The point is, a big mortgage changes who you are as a person. Soon you won't even recognize yourself in the mirror. The third reason is that an owner-occupied home feels more like a liability than an asset. Most people think that buying a house means that they own an asset. They're not wrong, but have a think about this. An asset should generate income. Your home doesn't. It just drains money every month. Furthermore, unlike an investment property, an owner-occupied home gives you no tax benefits. This means all the costs including interest payments, maintenance, and council rates are not tax deductible. So instead of building wealth, you're stuck with a money pit. The fourth reason is that you will likely be stuck in a location you don't love. Most people don't actually think about this, but if you're buying a $1 million home in a city like Sydney or Melbourne, you're probably not living in an area that you want to live in. You'll likely be far from the city and far from good amenities, facing long commutes and be far from friends and family, leaving you feeling isolated. You should really ask yourself, is home ownership really worth the sacrifice? Or do you think that there are alternatives? So don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom. In my next video, I'll show you the #1 strategy I use to buy property without sacrificing my lifestyle.